What up, Boxing World? 12 Rounds TV. Deontay Wilder is concerned about Eric Molina's height. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that Deontay Wilder and Eric Molina will be fighting this upcoming Saturday, June 13, 2015. The fight is going to be in Alabama, Deontay Wilder's hometown. As a matter of fact, there's an all-access out there already of Deontay Wilder being welcomed in his hometown in Alabama, being praised, and of course promoting the Wilder versus Molina fight. If you guys haven't seen that yet, I made a review on that. All access is in my channel. Anyway, I can see a little bit why Deontay Wilder would be concerned. A little bit, not much. Well, last opponent of Deontay Wilder was Birmingham, about 6'2", solid guy. As a matter of fact, he was the champion at the time for the WBC heavyweight title, and Deontay Wilder won that belt against Birmingham. Now, Birmingham, even though he lost Deontay Wilder, is a memorable opponent for Deontay Wilder. Why? Well, Birmingham is the only, or was the only opponent of Deontay Wilder that went all 12 rounds and was not knocked out. Deontay Wilder, before he fought Birmingham, had a perfect record, all knockouts. No draws, no losses, no contest, just knockouts, all 32 fights. Now, after he fought Birmingham, he was now 33 wins with 32 knockouts. All right, no losses, no draws, no contest. But like I said, Birmingham was the only one that fought Deontay Wilder that actually went all 12 rounds. And I mean, I didn't think he was winning any, towards the end of the round. I don't think that he was actually going to win, but he actually, Birmingham actually caught and landed a lot of big shots against Deontay Wilder, and somewhat hurt him a little bit. It was tough. I mean, Birmingham was solid. It wasn't an easy fight for Deontay Wilder, or Deontay Wilder would have knocked him out, right? He did it. Deontay Wilder won unanimous decision against Birmingham and also won the WBC heavyweight title. Now, Wilder faces a very solid dude. He doesn't have, as many records or as many fights as Deontay Wilder. As a matter of fact, he's got about maybe 24, 25, somewhere around there, fights, if not 27 fights. He's lost before. He's been knocked out by Chris Arreola, if you guys didn't know. But Eric Molina is about 2 inches taller than Birmingham, about 6'4". Birmingham was about 6'2". Heavyweight, solid guy. And Deontay Wilder, I believe, know that Eric Molina is well capable of knocking out anybody. He's American. He's a Mexican American, and I believe Eric Molina was born in Texas, and Deontay Wilder is from Alabama. Anyway, I'm gonna read you guys some of the quotes from the article that came out today about Deontay Wilder's concerns about Eric Molina's height. I shouldn't really say concern, but somewhat of a comment, that Deontay Wilder had said. Well, Deontay Wilder is 6'7", all right? That's a big dude. That's a tall dude with long reach. I mean, long arms. I mean, you name it. You got all the advantage in the world. But like I said, he's still somewhat was challenged by Birmingham. I mean, it wasn't necessarily like a majority decision or split decision per se. I mean, he clearly won the fight against Birmingham, but he didn't knock him out. Like I said, Birmingham is Canadian Haitian, and he was the former WBC heavyweight title holder at the time before he fought Deontay Wilder, and obviously lost that belt. But it says over here that Deontay Wilder, quote unquote, Molina's height is something to watch out for. And I can see why. Obviously, he's 6'4", and he's not that much, you know, Wilder is not that much taller from him, about 3 inches taller. Unlike Bermain's Stiverne, he was 6'2", and Wilder was 6'7", so, you know, there's a big gap there, 5 inches. This one is about 2 inches taller. I mean, 3 inches taller, so 6'4" to 6'7", right? Anyway, Deontay Wilder said that everybody likes 2 tall guys in the ring. I'm definitely going to find out if his bark is as big as his bite. Right now, his bark is loud, but we'll see if his bite is as loud as his bark. I don't have to explain to you guys what that means. He's just, Deontay Wilder just saying that, you know, he's facing a solid guy. You know, it was one of those fights that you can't underestimate. You can't be overconfident. Because, like I said, you're fighting a guy that is as nearly tall as you, and he's a big dude, and, you know, regardless of how badass you are and how much of a punching power you have, when you're facing a guy, a big dude, it's always a concern. But Deontay Wilder's record speaks for itself at perfect record of 33. With 32 knockouts. No draws, no contests, no losses. Just knockouts. And 1 unanimous decision, like I said, with Bermain's Stiverne, which was memorable. I believe that Deontay Wilder is not going to take Eric Molina lightly. And I'm sure Eric Molina is going to come out like a wildfire. You know, he's got something to prove. I mean, you know, he doesn't have, like I said, as a perfect record, as a flawless record as Deontay Wilder, but he wants that belt, you know. Who wouldn't want that belt, right? WBC heavyweight title. So, that is something that Deontay Wilder is protecting. As a matter of fact, in the All Access Deontay Wilder, he was shown on that video that he was actually polishing the belt himself. You know, I mean, he said he's going to take a while or take a lot for somebody to take that away from him. And pretty much what he's saying is he's going to defend that belt, that WBC heavyweight title belt, with all his might. Now, take note. This is some of the crisscrossing on the fights at the heavyweight division. Now, Eric Molina was knocked out. As a matter of fact, TKO'd by a guy named Chris Arreola. Chris Arreola, on the other hand, I'm telling you guys, just give me a second here. Chris Arreola was actually TKO'd by Bermain's Stiverne on the 6th round. So, with that said, Deontay Wilder beating up Bermain's Stiverne, who knocked out Chris Arreola, who beat up Eric Molina on, I believe, on what round was it? Chris Arreola. On the 1st round. You know, Chris Arreola actually won against Eric Molina on the 1st round. You know, so I've said this before, and I'm sure a lot of people have said it too, that we can't really base present performances from past, but we can see some threads there. You know, we can see how they perform with different opponents. You know, well, yeah, I got it. You know, it's different strokes for different folks. I got it, but there's a trend here, and the way I see it. Eric Molina doesn't have better skills or yet same skill set as Bermain's Stiverne, who Deontay Wilder fought and won via unanimous decision. So, in other words, I don't see Eric Molina being a tougher guy than Bermain Stiverne, who is actually I believe Bermain Stiverne is Canadian Haitian, born in Canada on Haitian descent. But Deontay Wilder is American from Alabama, and Eric Molina is actually Mexican American, was born in Texas. They're both young. I mean, they're still early 30s. But like I said, Eric Molina coming to this fight against Deontay Wilder is hungry. He wants that belt. You know, I mean, he wants that belt. He's gonna try to take that away from him. Now, just because, and we've seen this in the past, just because a guy is underdog, and just because Eric Molina is somewhat of a heavy underdog, light heavy underdog per se, against Deontay Wilder, it does not mean that he doesn't have any chance. You know, we've seen a lot of underdogs in the past whom actually won impressively. You know, I mean, we saw, to me, one of the not the only one, but one of the most notable fights that were underdog won impressively was Maidana against Broner. You know, Maidana was actually underdog against Broner, and guess what happened? Maidana put Broner down the canvas twice, and that was memorable too, because Maidana is not undefeated coming to the fight against Broner, and Broner was undefeated, but that was his first knockdown ever in his entire career, Broner that is, and it was somewhat embarrassing actually, because Broner's jaw was broken, was knocked down twice. He ran out the stadium as soon as the fight was over. Didn't even give a post-fight interview against one of the ringside sportscaster. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I believe that Deontay Wilder should not take Eric Molina lightly. Very solid dude, a big dude, man, 6'4", you know, almost as tall as Deontay Wilder, which is 6'7", but a heavy puncher. You know, you guys seen Eric Molina's fights in the past. I mean, I don't think that Eric Molina has the greatest chin in the world. He has a decent chin. If he could take Deontay Wilder's punches or you know, avoid getting land on, then he has a chance. You know, he can go. But then now, if he catches Deontay Wilder with a, you know, solid punches, I believe he can do some damage. You know. But to be honest with you guys, I think Eric Molina has a better punching power than Bermain Stiverne. It's just that I think that Bermain Stiverne has a better chin and pretty much better punching power than Eric Molina. I shouldn't say that. It's somewhat of the same. It's just a chin. Let's just say it like that. You know, I think Bermain Stiverne has a better chin than Eric Molina. But as far as punching power, they got the same. If not, I would say a little bit, just a little bit of an edge. Eric Molina probably has it. So yeah, that's what Deontay Wilder's concern is, Eric Molina's height. I don't think Deontay Wilder has ever fought somebody that is as tall as Eric Molina, who is 6'4", with somewhat of a punching power. So it is a concern. Do I think that Deontay Wilder is afraid or that concerned? No, I'm not saying that. I believe that he's considering Eric Molina's height coming to this fight. You know, I mean, the official weigh-in is going to be on Friday, June 12th. So, you know, we'll see how tall really Eric Molina is compared to Deontay Wilder. And yes, we're going to hear some trash talk. It's going to be very interesting. Lately, all we've seen on official weigh-ins, besides Durrell and DeGale, Golovkin against Monroe, we had Kirkland against Canelo, and the last one that fought, which is Cotto versus what's his face? Cotto against what does it say now? Maybe can't think of the top of my head. Cotto versus Daniel Gill. Yeah, all those official weigh-ins, except for, like I said, Dirrell versus DeGale, were gentlemen's weigh-ins. You know what I mean? They were really trash talking or nose to nose type stuff, or forehead to forehead type of stuff. You know. So, but I believe this official weigh-in of Wilder versus Molina could be somewhat interesting. Yeah, we'll probably see some fireworks there. You know, we know Deontay Wilder can talk. He can trash talk. You know, as a matter of fact, a lot of people are actually saying that he's the next Floyd Mayweather Jr. Obviously not on the division. I mean, Mayweather is welterweight, and Deontay Wilder is heavyweight. But same somewhat of an image, somewhat similar. Not the same, but somewhat. As a matter of, but take note that Deontay Wilder has said also that he is the next Mayweather. You know, that his power would be eclipsing Mayweather in the future. So he is undefeated now. So, you know, take note, Mayweather's undefeated. Deontay Wilder's undefeated at 33 fights. It will be 34 fights coming this Saturday. You know, I mean, he's still got a long way to go towards 48, but like Mayweather, but it's up there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Should Deontay Wilder be really concerned about Eric Molina's height, or should he be more concerned of Eric Molina's punching power? Let me know what you guys think. Leave me some comments. You guys take care and stay safe, alright? Please subscribe to my channel and share and +1 this video. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.